everyone, and welcome to IGN's discussion of Tales from the Borderlands, Episode 2, Atlas Mugged. My name is Marty Sleva. I'm here with Esmeralda and with Mitch.
Catch a ride!
Every time you say that, I think you're saying catch her in the ride.
Catch her in the ride!
We're not actually talking
Lord
about
of the Rings!
But yeah, what we want to talk about
books.
is all three of us played, obviously, Episode 1 and 2 of Tales from the Borderlands. We want to talk about what our decisions were and what our choices we made for Atlas Mugged. Because there's a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah.
So first off, obviously a big thing in this game is, obviously spoiler warning. If you're listening to this without playing the game, you're a weirdo.
Yeah.
But a
ruin
big thing
everything.
is that Reese is now sort of inhabited by the AI ghost of Handsome Jack.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
Yes.
Which, I mean, Handsome Jack is super funny in this episode. But I want to know how you guys actually handled his presence inside of you. Did you actually tell people that he was there, or did you try to keep it close to the vest?
I was super selective about who I told. I told Vaughn because I'm playing through as though I trust Vaughn implicitly. Even though he betrayed me, I'm still like,
Totally betrayed
whatever,
you.
dude. Yeah. But I wasn't gonna do it, man. Seriously. I trusted him with that, and then the only other time I brought it up was at the end with Vasquez, because I was like, he'll understand. Vasquez will have a really cool response, and I did that. I made that choice as this will be interesting in the game, rather than I think this is something Reese would do, and yeah, it was a really cool.
The wallet head comment.
Yeah, being able to make fun of him and cut really deep on a
Yeah,
personal
totally,
level was
totally.
good. But yeah, I didn't tell anybody else because I was like, maybe best to guard this one.
Yeah, totally. Same here. What about you?
Well, in the real world, I'm usually perceived as crazy anyway.
Yes, this is
so, so I wanted to at least tell my best friend, which is Vaughn, that I was hearing it at the when he first asked. I decided to say it, and then when he kept following up, I was like, maybe I should keep it closer to the vest.
Yeah.
And I decided not to say anything. And then with Vasquez, I did do the the wallet head comment.
Yeah.
And that just fear in his eyes, just what is happening? How did you know that? How are you reading my mind?
I love that whole scene where Handsome Jack's like, why do I know this guy? Why does this guy seem familiar? He's like, oh, wallet head.
He leans in and gets really close. I'm gonna look at his face for a while.
Yeah, that worked really well for me. So one of the things we're gonna notice is that a lot of us made a lot of the same decisions.
Yeah.
And I asked people to hop in the comments of my review, and I was like, hey, did you guys make the same decisions? And overwhelmingly, yes, they did. So I had to go and watch YouTube playlists to see what happens.
How'd that go?
What happens? Most of them were our own decisions, so I had to go real deep to find other ones. One of which was the gift when Sasha and Fiona get back to the house, Felix's house, and they find the little care package. Sasha has a gift for her, and you could choose to either give it to her or to keep it or to look at it. And so, what did you guys do there?
I was super open about it. I was like, hey, there's a thing here for you. Do you want it? And she's like, nah.
Yeah.
So Fiona hung on to it. So I didn't look inside.
You didn't look inside.
I have no idea.
And I didn't look inside either.
Okay, so neither did I. I did watch a YouTube video where you looked inside, though, and you open it up, and it's this little pocket watch. And you open up the pocket watch, and there's a picture of younger Felix and obviously sort of super young Sasha, and it says "Time heals all wounds" in there, which I thought was oh man, this is really sweet. I hope Sasha. I mean, first off, I didn't actually open it, but if you did open it, you're kind of a jerk because that's your sister's present. But I don't know if that's going to play into, because in my game, Felix is still alive, because at the end of episode 1, I chose to warn him about the briefcase exploding as opposed to shooting him. It's not the case with you guys.
No.
Yeah.
I decided to shoot him in the neck because I felt betrayed, and then he was his scene was, I still want to see these $20 million, so he opens it and it explodes, and Fiona says, eat it. I hope you enjoy it. And then he's like, you were always my favorite, which I was like, what?
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and then he dies, and I'm like, my decision was the wrong one.
So he's dead in your game too. How are Fiona and Sasha dealing with that fallout? Because he's alive in my game.
Yeah, I mean, Sasha is super upset, kind of at Fiona, not because oh, you killed him, I'm upset. It's no, she's like, I wanted to do it. I earned it.
Oh,
I
interesting.
deserve to kill him, not you.
Yeah, because in my game, Felix is still alive, so I assume he's coming back at some point. Obviously, either way, he's not in this episode. At least not directly. He's in there with a little video recorder. But yeah, in my episode, my Fiona's sort of come to terms with it. I get it. We are all con artists. I can't expect anything less of you or anything more of you.
So to that point, real quick, do you trust Sasha?
I feel like I have to. I don't know. That's the only blood in the game, right? They're the only family members in the game. And although, if you're Reese, you can't really trust Vaughn because Vaughn sold you out that one time.
Yeah. Right.
And I mean, luckily, did you guys
did you guys
forgive him? The bro moment's so good.
The bro moment is
especially when you even bro fist lower.
The bro moment, come on! And then
his face comes up, and I'm like, this is the greatest moment.
But then they start saying bro a lot. I'm like, oh, this is getting really dumb. Then all of a sudden, it cuts back to the present, and he's like, we don't talk like that.
But no, we do.
But no, seriously, we kind of do. Yeah, we kind of broed out. That scene where Loaderbot, takes you and you're flying through the air. That's sort of the big, the big sort of forked paths.
Oh, Reese lets you know about it.
Yeah,
too. I let him talk for like 10 minutes.
you go inside of that, yeah. And so you can either go to Old Haven, which is where sort of the map has been leading you, or you can go to Hollow Point, which is where you said you were going to meet up with Sasha and Fiona.
Yeah.
So all of us chose Hollow Point.
What?
Right.
Yeah, well, like, why would you not go find them? I don't,
Yeah.
that's a choice I didn't understand.
Especially because, by
That's
that...
if you want to like cross them. Like that's what I found that point was. It's like if you go to Old Haven without them, that means that you want to kind of like get ahead of them to try to get to the prize first.
But you still need Fiona. Like, you know that she
you
has
need
the other
the-
half of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, like, do you guys view your relationships with, like, between the two parties as antagonistic, or are they, like, in my mind now, everyone's friends?
So, yeah.
Like, they've bonded over that moment in the credit scene where everyone's trying to grab each other's shoe. Like, I think everyone's bonded in their shoe grabbing.
In a way, yeah, but at the same time, because we know in the future that they have a feud, like they really hate each other, or unless that's a ploy, like they're just playing.
Oh,
it
yeah,
out.
like they're trying to con the con.
Right, like
yeah.
maybe they're as close as can be, and they're just like, all right, listen, I'm gonna spit in your face, and you're not gonna like it, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be for the best.
Totally.
Things like
Ooh,
that.
I like that, yeah.
But I've been playing it not antagonistically, but just like, yeah, like we're casual acquaintances. I wouldn't say we're friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. There's that moment where like when you go to see Scooter and he's just like, do you know these people? And you have the choice of saying Fiona like, we're close
They're
friends, whatever.
business
Yeah.
associates.
I said business associates.
Yeah,
Oh,
because-
interesting.
I did too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
Fiona
was
gets
like,
a
no,
little
we're
offended
friends.
by
And
it.
Scooter's the best.
He's the
Scooter's
best.
Yeah,
amazing.
Scooter's lovely. So obviously, yeah, we played it that way, and then there's the chase with Athena, and Loaderbot comes and saves us, and then you go back to Old Haven and have to do that puzzle, which is sort of the low point of the episode,
Weird.
in my
I
opinion.
mean, everything basically from Athena's chase through the end sequence I found was like just grinding to a halt, boring.
Yeah.
I really like the action part of that credit with the music.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that
totally.
that was
Yeah.
amazing. And then it did get to this point. I was just like, okay, I understand what you're trying to do, but it
Yeah.
just didn't really. I feel like because of just the way the angles of the screen, maybe for me when I was playing. I
Yeah, and
couldn't
that one
really
puzzle,
understand.
the one puzzle didn't really do it for me.
I mean, it's-
it felt like it didn't add to the characterization. Like every scene is like, driving the momentum forward and who these
It's
characters
so
are.
fast-paced.
Yeah.
It's constantly giving you cool choices with interesting consequences and meaningful character moments. And
Yeah.
that does not exist for about 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, so that puzzle scene exists if you made the choice that we didn't make, which is you go to Old Haven first, and then you do that puzzle with just you, Vaughn, and the Loaderbot. And then as soon as you get inside the building, you get sort of held up at gunpoint. But then when you shift over to what Fiona's doing, that's when things are different, because you go through the scooter scene, you go through the Athena chase, and at the end of the Athena chase, instead of Loaderbot coming down, you pull out one of your flashbang grenades, and you throw it at Athena, and she gets stunned, and then you're like, okay, cool. And then you head back to Scooter's garage, and right before you're about to enter, Athena shows up, throws her shield at you, you dodge it, you get in, you're like, there's a bounty hunter outside who's just trying to kill me, and you see a new character there called Springs, who you said
She's in the pre-sequel.
She's in pre-sequel.
She's
the
Scooter on the moon.
Moon Scooter.
Moon Scooter.
Mooter.
Mooter.
Yeah, she's Mooter. I don't know what that means. And they're like, there's a bounty hunter outside. And the door's open, and Athena comes in, and she's not like scary looking anymore. Her hood's down. She looks like a normal person. And Springs goes up to her and kisses her on the cheek. And you're like, oh, okay, this is a couple. And she's like, don't try to kill my friends. Like, don't do that. She's like, okay. I'm like, all right, well, we solved
Wait,
that
how
one.
was Fiona friends already with?
Because it's by proxy with Scooter. Springs is friends with
okay.
Scooter. We're friends with Scooter. Thus, we're all friends with. Yeah. And so you get this funny moment where Athena's like, all right, I guess I'm not going to kill you. And then you head out and you head back to your truck, and you have the option to steal Athena's shield. And if you steal Athena's shield, you sort of just look back and you're like, bye, Athena, and you have the shield in your hand. And it says, like, Athena is really, really, really going to remember this, which I thought was super funny.
That's really good.
Yeah. Then I think sort of the last major decision, it comes right at the end of the game when all the characters are together, and you have to choose to either side with Fiona, who's like, I got this under control, or Jack, who's like, listen, if you just let me brainwash you, we can,
Let me dominate your mind.
Let me dominate your mind, and I'll get you
violate
out of
everything
here.
about your
Yeah, and I
consciousness.
don't think you're gonna die. So what did you guys do?
I picked Fiona, which in hindsight I regret, just because I didn't like that ending. I didn't have the flashbang sequence earlier, so I didn't know what that grenade was.
Yeah.
So at the end, when it drops on the ground and the screen just goes white, it didn't even seem like an explosion happened. My screen was just like, and it's white now, and it's over. Like,
Yeah.
I was so confused. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I told you this, and you mentioned the season finale of like Lost Season 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. You remember that, like when Juliet blows up the atomic bomb and it just fades to white. You're like, it always fades to black. You're not supposed to fade to white.
But the difference between that and this is like, then like I knew that like, oh man, this is bad. This changes everything.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for the next season. Here I'm like, I'm confused. Like it's a cliffhanger in as much as I don't know what happened, but it's not in a good way.
I don't know.
It's so funny because I had a complete opposite reaction to that.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I loved that it left it as such a big cliffhanger because I knew that if I went with Handsome Jack, which I mean he was amazing in this, I was like, oh, I love you so much, I'll let you do things. But I wanted to see like this. Having the grenade, which I also forgot it was a flashbang.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was a grenade, so I was like, what
I don't think
would
you
happen?
know it's a flashbang, actually. Maybe unless you inspect it.
Unless you had the screen.
Unless you had that scene, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and so I wanted to see how detrimental things could be to affect the next episode.
You're just trying to break everybody.
Yeah, I was just trying to see what could actually happen if
Yeah,
everyone dies with a grenade.
I love that. Yeah, I like the ending too, but then...
I like that whole sequence though, like with the music and the things coming together.
Oh, totally,
and the tension of like
and then everyone's at
faces.
gunpoint on the other side of the glass, and so if you let Handsome Jack get into your head, he sort of starts puppeteering Reese, and you lift up your hand, and Fiona's like, "What's happening?" And then all of a sudden, the flying drones turn around, and Jack says, "Hail to the king, baby!" And they start heading towards the glass, like, "All right, he's about to just tear apart everyone in that other room," which includes all of your friends.
Yeah. So I don't think they're gonna kill as many characters as we think.
Yeah.
But I would like to if the next episode opens with like a surprising bloodbath. That could be super interesting.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, they
right?
really hinted at least with the character with Sasha and the boyfriend turned Con.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like it was just like this weird tension when you're talking to Fiona and she's they're having that interaction. She's like, did she really care for me? It's like I played it as no. She conned you. He's like,
oh,
no.
I didn't.
Like, I was like, oh, she never talked about you because you were boring boyfriend.
No, I was totally the opposite. I was totally like, yeah, she honestly did. I don't know, I'm a big stupid baby when I play games. Yeah, and I'm like, everyone has to be happy. Everyone has to be nice. No one killing.
Yeah, we all be friends.
Yeah, I don't know. So what do you guys like? Where do you see this going next? Like, do you think we're going to catch up with the framing device soon, or do you think that's all right? Finally, in episode 5, you're going to get to the point where you're in the present and you find out who this masked figure is. Also, who the hell is this masked figure?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume that the present will be in like by episode 4, right?
Yeah.
Like, it'll catch up, and then episode 5 will be like, all right, the future or whatever.
Totally.
After all this has happened, here's the fallout. Now how do you solve it?
Fallout's a different game that takes place.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's the game with big bees.
Oh yeah. I hate bees.
Yeah, it doesn't like bees.
I don't want to play that game anymore.
That's funny. I think it's actually going to happen in episode 5. Like they were going to want to leave this cliffhanger for that long until you get to that point. And then like I don't even think we'll even see like besides them like maybe if like it's all happy rainbow whatever they find something like they're just like okay cool we did this bye like that'll be like the end of 5.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just like all this like catastrophe of like murder that I hope happens.
Yeah, totally. And didn't they say by the end of Tales from the Borderlands it's going to be the furthest point in the Borderlands series, or was that at the end of pre-sequels the furthest point?
So
no, because it's between 1 and 2.
But the framing device of the pre-sequel is the farthest point so far.
Okay, that's it. Oh. Well, so far as in.
As far as we know right now, the framing device of pre-sequel is Athena in the farthest future that we know in the canon.
Okay.
So we have no idea when this ends. Like maybe it'll be after Fiona's been captured by the Vault Hunters. Maybe it'll be just as she's about to get captured by them. But I don't know. Like Athena is starting to play a major role in Tales right now. We're also starting to see more Vault Hunters. Like Brick is in episode 3.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Maybe her capture will come to a head there, but I don't know. As for the mysterious figure, like I have no idea.
Your name's Andrew Goldfarb. Tell us what happens, please. Yeah, it's super exciting. My prediction for episode 3 is that Loaderbot opens up and Claptrap's inside of him.
That would be amazing.
You've been thrown out with Claptrap the whole time.
I would be kind of bummed out if that happened.
Honestly, that would also seem super gratuitous.
Gratuitous, but also like Loaderbot is such a funny character on his own. Like he is his own version.
So what happens if you self-destructed him in the first episode?
I would assume you get another one.
Oh, really? Don't compare him to Chappie. He's a lot better than Chappie. Spoilers.
Like Chappie to me was Wally getting gangster at the end of the movie. So like that is what I want Loaderbot.
Now I want to see Chappie.
I want Loaderbot to be the
That is amazing. Wally getting gangster. Thank you guys so much. That was super fun. That was our decisions in episode 2 of Tales from the Borderlands. Atlas Mug. What did you guys do? Did you guys make the same decisions in episode 1?
Like everybody else did.
Yeah, exactly. Did you do something different? Let us know, and we'll be back here next time when episode 3 comes out. So for everything else, Borderlands and Telltale Games, you're already in the right place. IGN.com.